Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Technical Stuff That's Working. Tonight, everything seems to be, fingers crossed, in order. The organ is working, making nice theatre organ sounds. The microphone is working, making nice vocal sounds. The recording is working, guaranteeing future content. And Vanessa's tippy-tapping in the background. Is everything working, Vanessa?
Yeah.
Yes, she says very loudly. Still no microphone. Still no microphone. Vanessa, the world wants you on a microphone.
Also, ja, später vielleicht.
Maybe, oh, she said maybe later.
Vielleicht zu meinem Geburtstag, vielleicht mache ich das dann.
She says maybe later and maybe on her birthday. When's Vanessa's birthday? Vanessa's birthday is in a couple of weeks' time on the 27th of March. And tomorrow is a very important day in the world of the Gartshores. Tomorrow is our anniversary. Not our wedding anniversary, our official getting together, falling in love with love. Falling in love anniversary, that's tomorrow. How many years, Vanessa? 6 years now, 2017. 15th of March 2017, Vanessa and I fell madly and deeply in love with each other. We spent the day together. Traveling hundreds of miles from where we live here in this part of Germany to a very different part of Germany so that Vanessa could go and get her hair done. There you are. Vanessa used to live in a different part of Germany and she had her favorite hairdresser up there, miles away. And she still used to go and visit her favorite hairdresser. And on the 15th of March 2017, we drove together there and I sat in this hairdresser's salon for what felt like all day actually while she got blondified or whatever happened. But nonetheless, we had a lovely day. We had 3 hours in the car on the way there, 3 hours in the car on the way back, including, we went for a burger, didn't we? Ja? Sind wir nicht nach Paderborn reingefahren? We're very romantic. We went for a burger, and a proper burger, a really fancy burger. And we had a lovely time. So that's it. So tomorrow is our 6th anniversary. So there you are. And we're going to be spending it with you because tomorrow is the closing concert of our third Gartshore Organ Festival. And my goodness me, we've had some fun this last few days playing these concerts. We've had great fun. And tonight is going to be my fun because tonight is at the jazz band ball, which means I get to play jazzy music all night. If you have any spontaneous jazzy requests, gang@gartshore.de is where we send them. Mrs. G? gang@gartshore.de for spontaneous jazzy requests. Cameron, the answer to that question is a very personal one and we're not going to go into it in public.
Cam, ich liebe dich.
Vanessa and I were more pragmatic about it than that.
Erzähl mir mal die wahre Geschichte, bitte.
What is the true story for you then?
Du hast mir gar keinen Antrag gemacht.
What is the true story?
Du hast mir keinen Antrag
Yeah,
gemacht.
but...
Ich habe gesagt, wir würden gerne heiraten und hast du einfach mich geheiratet. Ohne Antrag. Und ich vermisse den Antrag noch heute.
There you are. For those of you who don't understand German, this is something that has been. Thank you, Cam. I'll get you back for this. Thank you, Cam. The proposal, believe it or not, still hasn't taken place. Vanessa and I decided one day that we were going to get married. We just decided that we were going to get married, and it just sort of happened. Well, not just sort of happened, it officially happened. It just sort of happened. And to this day, there hasn't actually been an official proposal. Maybe I should do it now. Vanessa, will you marry me again? You know what? She's got a mouthful of Smarties. That's how romantic we can be. I beg your pardon?
Kann der Cam nochmal so Fragen stellen, bitte?
Vanessa, would you like to marry me again?
Ja, wenn du mir einen romantischen Antrag gibst.
She says yes. Oh, it has to be a romantic one.
Ja.
It has to be a romantic proposal. All right. I'm here. I'm on one knee. Look, here's one knee. Vanessa, will you be my wife again?
Sag mal, ich nehme dir das bis heute krumm. Yeah.
She's not impressed. She's not impressed. She's not impressed. Let me see if it'll work if I play a tune like this. Irving Berlin, 1919. A pretty girl, that's her, is like a melody, an old jazz number, a sort of more of a ragtimey number, I suppose, but an old jazzy number from 1919 from Irving Berlin. A Pretty Girl is Like a Melody, which I'm going to dedicate to my pretty and very beautiful wife, who I would love to marry again. Did you? She just went, That's it. Cameron Platts, you're in trouble. A pretty girl is like a melody. A pretty girl is like a melody.
Ich hab gesagt, dass ich dich auch ohne
I look over to my beautiful wife and she's sitting there with a little packet of Smarties. Show me the empty packet of Smarties. Come on, show me the empty packet of Smarties. Right. Oh, two! Not just one, but two. These tiny little packets of mini Smarties. Inside there are usually mini Smarties. I looked over to my beautiful wife, about to say something lovely, and she was going, and then shoveling Smarties into her cake hole at great rate. That's romance, that is. That's romance. Would you like some more Smarties?
Gerade nicht.
Here, can I give you your empty Smartie packets back? So much for the romantic night. Yes, there we are. Well, that didn't work, did it? That didn't work at all. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a jazzy night tonight, and we're going to have an awful lot of fun. But we're going to have sort of a mixture of jazzy things. We're going to have some ragtime music. We're going to have some Latin American style music. We're going to change organs at some point and move from a theatre to a classical organ. Okay, so it's not all theatre organ tonight. And then, of course, we're going to have some more modern jazz as well tonight. We've had a request for something by Dave Brubeck, which might be something a little rhythmic, shall we say. Not take five, because we've had take five several times of late. So I think tonight we'll do something rather different. But let's do a slushy ballad. Slushy ballads are always good fun. And if you're going to do a slushy ballad, it has to be in the key of E flat. And for slushy ballads on a theatre organ, you need the vox humanae stops and the string stops. And that gives a very beautiful sort of big sort of shimmering sound. Perfect for songs about birds singing in the centre of Mayfair. Yes, this is A Nightingale Sang in Berkeley Square. One of my favourite tunes, actually. Drat! I thought I had a vibraphone there. I don't, I have one here.
Wie ist das erste Lied?
First one, Panama.
Panama.
Panama. The first song tonight was Panama. Often falsely called the Panama Rag. It's just called Panama. So, don't forget, just called Panama. Right, now, what I wanted to play now, not that one. We can do that later. Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. It must be here somewhere. Yeah, there we are. There we go. The wonderful world of, let me change my registrations, of course, the wonderful world of European jazz. Jazz is not solely an American invention. It's an international invention, obviously. Over here in the European countries, there were, of course, some amazing jazz performers, some amazing jazz ideas. And one of the best would have to be a Belgian guitarist called Django Reinhardt. An absolutely wonderful, wonderfully talented guy. Messed up his hand, his right hand, I think, in a fire, or was it his left hand? One or other, I can't remember. Messed it up in a fire, a very serious injury, and it sort of mangled his fingers, basically. And because of that, he had this amazing playing style. Very, very clever indeed. And he joined forces with a French violinist called Stéphane Grappelli. And the two of them, they started out in the 30s and went for it and had a wonderful career together, doing all sorts of amazing sort of swing. Now, nowadays it's called gypsy swing. I'm not sure, they are allowed to call it that. You're not allowed to use that word for anything else these days, but they do still call it gypsy swing, which I think is wonderful. And all sorts of bands trying to recreate it, but nobody has managed to completely recreate the sound of Django Reinhardt himself. There was a guy who lived down in the southwest of Scotland, Martin Taylor. Martin Taylor is pretty much as close as you can get. Martin Taylor, he lives in Ayr, as far as I know, A-Y-R, a little place down in the southwest of Scotland. And when I was at university, a mate of mine, Richie, he went to school with Martin's son. There you are, there's a little useless connection there. And years later, I met Martin Taylor at a gig, the same one I met Stéphane Grappelli at, which I think I spoke about recently, didn't I? Yes, I did. And I couldn't remember Martin Taylor's name. There you are, now I did. See, it all comes back to you eventually. And I remember talking to Martin and telling him that I knew, sort of through a couple of bizarre connections, I kind of knew who his son was. And he said, oh yeah, Richie, he was an old mate of mine. So there you are. So those are little connections there. But nevertheless, back to the music. The wonderful music of Django Reinhardt and Stéphane Grappelli together. They had a wonderful time. They improvised millions of things just around chord symbols. So for example, this piece of music I'm going to play here, they just improvised around the chords to I Got Rhythm. Chords to I Got Rhythm, and they just sort of improvised around that. They got bored of playing it in one key, so they moved to another key and improvised around there. That's what they did. And they called these tunes some rather bizarre things, and a thing that started in the late 30s became a bit of a pattern for them. When they came up with something they thought that was rather good, they just called it after the year they recorded it in. So this, for example, is Swing 42. Recorded in 1942, but believe it or not, written in 1941. But it's called Swing 42. There you are, work that one out. Swing 42, written in 1941, written apparently by Django Reinhardt himself. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Now then, let's have some fun with a piece of music that you can go crazy with. And this is one of those old sort of jazz numbers that bands just do from time to time. And, you know, when you sit in a band, that's what it's called. I've played in jazz bands all throughout my life, and you sit in, which is when you're invited to come and, you know, join in a band that you don't normally play with. And usually you sort of sit there. I would be on the piano, of course, and then we'd say, all right, what do you want to play? And everyone would sort of go, oh, I don't know, what do you know? And then everyone would say, well, how about? And then you come up with all sorts of tunes that nobody knows. No, and then you eventually sort of land on a number that everybody sort of, you know, everybody really should know, and it's usually some awful number that you don't want to play. But from time to time, these sit-ins come up with some rather wonderful ones. And one of the favorite ones I used to like, it's a simple tune, and every band knows it, and it doesn't do very much, but you can have so much fun with it. It's an old one called Sweet Sue. And get ready, I'm going to do some of the old organ ballistics on this one. just you. Just you. Qu'est-ce que c'est ça? Oh, who this for? Mr. Platts? Mr. P. I like it. Hoagie Carmichael. What a name. Imagine going through life. Hello, I'm Hoagie Carmichael. Hoagie Carmichael wrote lots of wonderful, wonderful pieces of music, including one of my favorite tunes, including the title New Orleans. He just called it. In fact, let's play that. Let me look it up. Hoagie Carmichael wrote a wonderful... Ooh, I see some tickets flying in. Sorry, I didn't get a chance to say, because I was busy concentrating on what my hands were doing. Some tickets flying in. Thank you very much indeed. That was one from Jacob. Thank you, Jacob. One came in from a guy called Ingo as well. I wonder who that is. Yeah, but I'm allowed to say Ingo, but nobody knows who Ingo is. What was I doing? Oh, New Orleans. Thank you. Yes. That's coming next. There it is. Hoagie Carmichael, 1932. Now this is Hoagie Carmichael, 1933. A much newer song, 1933. That's 90 years old. Can you believe it? And this is a wonderful, wonderful sort of bluesy number. Let's get my bluesy registrations here. Click, click, and off you go. Right, there's my bluesy registrations. And this is a great little number here. Picture yourselves. Actually, this is one for Julian, because Julian is in Shreveport, Louisiana. Now, if you're, I think even anyone further south will sort of recognize what I'm saying here. It's a hot summer's day, a hot, sticky summer's day. The mosquitoes are flying, but it doesn't matter because you are sipping on the good stuff, warding off the mosquitoes, and you're having one of those days out on the front porch. It's so hot and sticky, you don't want to do anything, so you're just lying there, enjoying the laziness of life. This is dedicated to you, a piece of music called Lazy Bones. That's Vanessa making funny noises in the background. When Vanessa clicks things around here, she always makes noises where she does it. She always goes pew and pew. When we change scenes, we get these funny noises in the background. Isn't that cute? What a beautiful piece of music. Ah, dirty and bluesy and blah. Thank you for tickets here. Gerald, thank you for yours. Marco, thank you for yours. I saw that in the way past. There was another one there. Sorry, I didn't see it. But thank you. And yes, Urza Mayo, thank you for your donation here on the YouTube channel itself. Someone else was there as well. I didn't get it. Lex, that was the one. Lex, thank you very much indeed, Lex. Isn't that a wonderful piece of music? Lazy Bones. The words are, remember I set that scene there because I kind of know what the words are to this one. Lazy bones, sleeping in the sun. How you expect to get your day's work done. How do you expect to get your day's work done? Never get your day's work done sleeping in the noonday sun. That's what that's all about. Isn't that wonderful? Lazy bones, sleeping in the shade. How to expect your cornmeal made. Not politically correct nowadays. Never get your cornmeal made sleeping in the evening shade. When potatoes need spraying, so when you need to go out and spray your potatoes, I bet you keep praying the bugs fall off the vine. I beg your pardon. And when you go fishing, I bet you keep wishing the fish won't grab at your line. In other words, you don't want anything to have to do. Lazy bones, loafing through the day. How do you expect to make a dime that way? Never make a dime that way. Sleeping. He never heard a word I say. Sorry, that's how it ends. There's a sort of coda in there. Not on this one. All right, fun. Fun. Lazy bones. Basically me. Ooh, Cole Porter. Who's this for? Razbaz. Right, Mr. Razbaz. Ah, yes. Razbaz. Did you not hear me say thank you, Marco, on the way past? Vanessa wasn't listening. Vanessa was not listening. Here's a piece of music by Cole Porter. Now, we know about Cole Porter. We've learnt about him over the past few days. Cole Porter did all the work by himself. He didn't need to. He was an exceptionally wealthy man. He was the musical version of... I don't know. What was he the musical version of? Let's say he was the musical version of... Warren Buffett. That would be a good one. He lived an incredibly comfortable life, but didn't show off about it. He wasn't flashy, Cole Porter, but he was very, very, very wealthy. He didn't need to show off about it. He was one of those kind of guys. He knew he was wealthy, so he didn't need to show it. Very clever. And he wrote all this music himself, and he invariably wrote music for, well, normally young gentlemen he fancied, but he was open to anything, so occasionally young women he fancied as well. And this one is apparently one he wrote for a young lady he rather fancied. And it's called I've Got You Under My Skin. Ooh la la. From 1936. Shall we stick with the bluesy ones for this? I think we will, but we'll start up here. Alrighty. I've Got You Under My Skin. I will turn it into a sort of a bossa nova. I've got you
Kennst du Yellow Cap von Klaus Doldinger?
under my skin. Nope.
Noch keine Noten.
I do not know that. That's something weird and German.
Ja, es gibt doch keine Noten dazu.
Something by Klaus Doldinger. We don't know that. Sorry. I know Klaus Doldinger, but I don't know that.
Ich habe auch die Noten und so, aber ich finde nichts.
Vanessa has searched and cannot find the music for it. So if you have a score of it, send it over.
Das Wolfgang König haben wir leider.
Wolfgang, sorry Wolfgang, no chance.
Ich habe aber nichts.
Okay, Vanessa is doing her best but cannot find anything. Sorry about that. There we are. Isn't that wonderful though? I got you under my skin. Now, there were several different styles of playing in there, I hope you noticed. And this is the amazing thing about playing this kind of jazzy music on an organ like this. Now, I've got my percussion effects, but you don't have to have the percussion effects. So I did my, what did we start with? We started with the... Cha-cha-cha. We started with the sort of the cha-cha-cha style, or the bossa nova style, whatever you want to call it. And when we changed into a sort of big band, Yeah, which was kind of cool. And then we changed into the sort of the Louis Prima style, which is the... And that, believe it or not, is the most difficult one to do because you've got to keep that. You've got to keep that going. If you start adding notes in between, then it doesn't sound right. So you've got to concentrate on your right hand and keep that far away from that. So you get this. Get that, all those weird rhythms going on all at the same time, and you've got to concentrate there. Difficult to do that, but fun. Thank you, Razbaz, for that wonderful suggestion. All right, what's this here? Is this, somebody wants this? Ooh, let's have that then. Yes, who's this for? Who's this for? Okay, Vanessa's not going to tell me who this is for. Is this a secret? She can't remember. What's wrong tonight? Vanessa's having one of those nights tonight. She obviously didn't have enough. Yeah, but see, she just said it herself. Her smarty level has not been reached. She needs more smarties, ladies and gentlemen. She needs more smarties. It's this one, though, isn't it? This one? Mm-hmm. Yes, all right, good. Careless Love, otherwise known as Careless Lunch. I've mentioned this before. When we used to play in bands, you used to take the word, every time the word love appeared in the title, you changed it to lunch. For example, lunch is just around the corner, which is quite a good one. Or this one, Careless Lunch. I quite like Careless Lunch. And there are many, many more. All you need is lunch. And it's perfect. It fits, actually. It fits to so many people in so many things in life. If you have a partner in crime, a partner in life who is who suffers from hangry, you know what hangry is? A mixture of hungry and angry. If they get hangry, then yeah, you know what it's like. Careless lunch. All you need is lunch. That's the kind of thing. Mike King has some Smarties in his fridge. Why do you have Smarties in your fridge?
Ja, manche mögen die halt gekühlt.
Cold Smarties.
Das ist in jeder Variation lecker.
Cold Smarties. That would be fun on the old fillings. Anyway, right then. Here we are. Careless Lunch. Otherwise known as, it's actually got a second title, Loveless Lunch. So that would translate as Lunchless Lunch. That would be good, wouldn't it? Loveless Love, sorry. Careless Love or Loveless Love. Careless Lunch. Which is good because the composer's name is W.C. Handy. So if you have had a careless lunch, it's good if you have a W.C. Handy. Careless lunch. I hope you have a WC handy. Ah! Sorry. Terrible jokes. I'm sorry, I'm disgraceful. Now, I see something in the background here that I'm rather worried about. I see something about here, Buxtehude. These are little signals that happen in my brain and the world goes. And I get alarm signals going off. Vanessa, why is Alexander talking about Buxtehude?
Nur so, wir haben einen neuen Wunsch. Das wird dann der Blumenkohl der Woche.
I beg your pardon.
Wir machen doch jetzt ab nächste Woche Blumenkohl der Woche. Die Gartshore Gang ist schon am Spekulieren.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is a plot afoot. The Gartshore Gang, that's you, apparently you're going to start putting me on the spot, and every week there is going to be a piece of music that I will hate, and it has to be, do I have to play it? Do I have to play it?
Ja, natürlich muss das dann spielen. Das ist der Blumenkohl der Woche.
Yeah, but what if it's impossible to play?
Nee, das wird nicht. Das wird einfach dann gespielt, so wie das da steht.
I don't think Vanessa understands how this works yet. Anyway, there's a piece of music that will be chosen every week by apparently you, the Gartshore Gang. And it's basically to put me on the spot and make me feel incredibly uncomfortable. Thank you, that's very kind of you. I do love you too, swines. And we're going to call it the cauliflower of the week. Or in German, Blumenkohl der Woche. This is going to be a new sort of feature, apparently, in our live streams. This is Vanessa getting me back for all the things I've done to her over the years. And apparently, I see you already talking about Buxtehude, so no. Please don't do it to me, please don't. Be nice, ladies and gentlemen. You know I don't do counterpoint. I hate counterpoint. And nothing in the world will ever make me like counterpoint. It's not going to happen. So please, ladies and gentlemen, please be nice to me. Keep the Baroque stuff for the Baroque geeks and let me do the other stuff. I trust you to be nice. Was that a good thing to say? No, probably not. Right, I promised we would play Hoagy Carmichael's 1932 number, New Orleans. And this, I love, here, for our Louisiana friends here, I absolutely love the harmonies of this one. It's great. It's a kind of sort of circle of fifths thing, but it's sort of relentlessly wonderful. That's the beauty of the circle of fifths, I suppose. But he's managed to sort of weave this round. It's amazing. So I'm guessing New Orleans being the melting pot of so many cultures back in the day, the birthplace of jazz, when everyone sort of got together, all the... I beg your pardon? Rega? Oh, for heaven's sake, it's getting even worse. Good heavens. It's time for me to retire if you're going to start playing this piece of thing. I beg your pardon, I googled the hardest piece to play on a theatre organ for one organist and didn't come up with any ideas. Yes, thank you, Alex, that's correct. On the theatre organ, that's all right, I can live with that. Anyway, let's have an amalgamation of harmonies and cultures and exciting things in the city of New Orleans, as composed by Hoagy Carmichael back in 1932. Ooh, exciting stuff in the background. A message from the financial department. How are ticket sales this evening, Vanessa?
Nicht so gut.
Not so good, she says. Well, I know it's Tuesday night. I know it's Tuesday night. It's the middle of the month. Everyone's at that sort of middle of the month stage. It's March. March is a rotten month. It's a long, long, long month. Yeah, it is. It is for everybody, especially hard up musicians. Yes. If you're enjoying the festival so far, do please. It's there. It's on the bottom of the screen. Thank you for your festival ticket. I should have made that plural, shouldn't I? Thank you for your festival tickets. Or as Gollum would say, tickets. There you are. Tickets. Now, someone asked me if I would play some Christmas music, and the answer is no, not in March. I know it's very wet and miserable outside, especially around here. Not very nice indeed. Not very nice indeed. Oh yes, now that one's coming later, but this one's coming now. We had a little request, a spontaneous request come in for some gospel music. So I thought I would play something that's gospel style, but not actually composed as an original gospel music. This is sort of a later sort of idea of what gospel music, of what jazz musicians thought gospel music was. So I hope you don't mind me choosing this. And this is Andy Razaf. Andy Razaf was Fats Waller's best friend and composer of words and lyrics. But Andy Razaf also wrote music. And he took an old sort of gospel melody that he found, apparently, this is the story. He took an old gospel melody that he found and changed it a little bit to make it a bit more sort of, to make it a bit more jazzy, yeah, basically. Don't forget Andy Razaf, New York of the 1920s and 30s, yeah, that kind of thing. So very sort of cosmopolitan, sophisticated and upbeat and yeah, okay. So of course, you know, people in New York didn't necessarily know what real gospel music was in those days. We do now, obviously, but in those days they did. So this was their sort of idea of what gospel music might have been. It's a wonderful tune. Jazz bands love to play it because it's really sort of upbeat, fun number. And am I going to do it with pianos? Shall we do it with pianos? I think we'll do it with pianos. It's called On Revival Day, and it's actually from 1930. That's not really very gospel time, is it? But like I said, it's Andy Razaf's idea of what gospel music might be. On Revival Day. And hold on, it's a fast one. arrival day. Oh, look, Vanessa's playing with new fancy things here. With main camera, overhead camera, and foot camera all at the same time. My. Yeah, no, I like that. Yeah? I like it. What do you think? What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Clean them tubes of the spiders. Good heavens. Spiders. Yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. You know, we are a wonderful... I like spiders. I don't have a problem with spiders. I really don't. And when we have spiders in the corners of the rooms, you know, I like it. I like it because they catch all the little beasties. But certain people hate spiders with a vengeance. And yeah, spring is on the way. So we've got days now which are freezing cold and snowing and horrible. And then the next day it's 15 degrees centigrade and the sun is shining and it's absolutely delicious. Yeah. So it's, you know, nature is going crazy. So what happens? The house spiders, you know, the big bastards, the house spiders start coming out from behind the walls again. Yeah? And they're out and about, having a look for a partner. Yeah. Yesterday morning, our dog, Shiloh, has to go out for a walk every day. So, and from our house, in the kitchen, there's a door in the kitchen that goes down into the garage, 2 little steps down into the garage. Fine. So Vanessa walked off in front. She went down the steps with Shiloh, with the dog, and I came afterwards. And as I got down the steps, the loudest, most almighty shriek you ever heard in your life, a bone-curdling, blood-curdling, bone-curdling? Can you curdle bones? A blood-curdling, bone-shaking shriek came out of her. I leapt out of my skin. I thought, I have no idea what had happened, yeah? And up in the sort of corner, you know, where the ceiling meets the wall, up in the crack sort of thing, there was a house spider, one of those big buggers, yeah? Up in there. She went absolutely crazy and started leaping around the garage and things. So normally I would rescue them and take them somewhere else and, you know, let them do their business and things like that. But sadly, this one met its vacuum fate. It got hoovered up and it's gone, sadly. And it turns out it was a female as well. So yes, so the female of the species is no more. So she won't be finding her mate this year. So that's one down, several to go. But yeah, it's that time of year when the spiders are back out and about again.
Ja, und dann erzähl mal bitte, was du mir heute Nacht erzählt hast. Das war so gemein.
Yeah, and then later on at night, after our concert last night, after the concerts, we have to sort of, you know, we calm down. We have our moment of when we go, and I go out for a wander with the dog around the village and things like that. Vanessa sort of, you know, cools and chills and all that kind of stuff. And last night, you know, when we went to bed, it was about, wann sind wir ins Bed? Probably about 2 o'clock or 2:30 or something. It was very late, 2:30 in the morning. We finally got to bed. And as I switched off the light, this little voice sort of said to me, where do those spiders come from? Which is just exactly, you know, someone who's scared of spiders at night when the light goes off, she sort of said, where do those spiders come from? And I said, well, they're house spiders. They live in the walls of the house. Which, of course, you've never seen a light be switched on as fast as that. Boom, light was back on again. Where? And I said, yeah, they live behind the walls, in the cavities behind the walls. And then they come out. Where? There are no holes in the walls. Yes, well, you know, at the bottom of the floor, where they come out. So at 2:30 in the morning, you know, she asked me a perfectly normal question, which I answered truthfully. And that was it. She couldn't sleep for about the next hour and a half. And she kept sort of saying, are you sure they don't come from outside? I said, no, they definitely don't come from outside. Are you sure? So eventually I said, well, maybe they do come from outside. I just wanted to get to sleep. So yes, so it's spider season, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, and then she was awake until about 4:30 in the morning and couldn't sleep. So there you are. Aren't I nasty? Right, what's this? We have a piece of paper here. Show me the piece of paper, Mrs. G. Show me the piece of paper. Oh, I don't know this. What's this then? Da da ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da ba dee da ba da ba dee ba da bum. Okay, that looks jazzy. Dee. Oh my goodness. Oh, hold on. What key's there? Oh, it's in C minor. Okay, that makes sense. Dee da ba da ba da da be da 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 dee da ba da ba da da dee, and then G, and then C major. What on earth is this? I don't know this. This is a rather weird one. Okay, we'll dedicate this to all the foot fetishists in the Gartshore gang, and I'm guessing there's a few because you're always talking about the sock cam. So this is dedicated to all those foot fetishists. It's called Oh, Those Jazzy Toes. I have no idea what this is. I don't know this at all. So here we are, some jazzy sight reading. Which registration shall we have for this? Let's have some toe tapping registrations for this one. I don't know it, but let's find out. It says moderato, which means not too fast. I didn't know that one at all. Strange. Actually, that's an interesting piece of music. Ladies and gentlemen, this is something by lady composers. I just noticed that. The names of the composers. Words by Helen Woodruff and music by Madeline Shepherd. There you are. And it's from 1922. Gosh. MCM XX11, 1922. Right, I didn't know that. Gosh, right. I think that's one to look up, find out some more about. Thank you very much. Oh, those jazzing toes. Tar. Thank you very much. A strange one, but a good one. The Book of Magic. Not the usual Book of Magic, but this Book of Magic. Now, don't forget, where does jazz come from? New Orleans. Is there a piece of music we know about New Orleans? Yes, there is. And it's probably not even in here. It's called Do You Know What It Means to Miss New Orleans? Or, if you come from where I come from, it's not even in this book, is it? It's not. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. I don't really need it, but we'll do it anyway. Do you know what it means to piss in your jeans? That's what we used to call it in the jazz bands, rather than do you know what it means to miss New Orleans? But yes, fun nonetheless. Late at night, when the jazz bands are on stage during these jazz festivals, we try to put each other off, make each other laugh, and with little jokes like that, it works. Do you know what it means to miss New Orleans? Vanessa's grinning in the background, which means she's either up to mischief or something cute has happened. Mm-mm? No, she's got that grin on her face. Something's wrong. I need to play the Jaws music again. I beg your pardon? What's happening? He's telling spider stories.
Yeah.
Who's telling spider stories? Xing Chang Chong is doing spider stories. Is he scaring you? I'll do Jaws music. Dum, 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 dum. I beg your pardon? We're having spider stories. Are there any songs about spiders? Spider jiving, Andy Fairweather Low. Andy Fairweather. I love Andy Fairweather Lowe. What a wonderful musician. If you don't know who Andy Fairweather Lowe is, research Andy Fairweather Lowe and the Low Riders, his band. But Andy Fairweather was, oh my God, one of the best, probably the best guitarist ever. Full stop. He's so good, Eric Clapton uses him on his recordings. There you are. That's how good Andy Fairweather Lowe is. He can do it all. And he's a lovely guy as well. Yeah. How did we get onto... Oh, yeah, because he did a song called Spider Jiving back in the 70s, probably. Spider Jiving. Look it up. Spider Jiving, Andy Fairweather Lowe. Anyway, yes. Songs about spiders. Right. There we are. Ladies and gentlemen, a quest. Can you provide us with songs about spiders? I wonder. Oh, Nancy, thank you very much indeed. Nancy bought a ticket. Thank you, Nancy. It's very kind of you. How are we doing on tickets now, Mrs. G? It's Gateso. That's German for, How about some big band music? How about some... We have a big band fan in the audience. Is Uncle Joe here tonight? No. Uncle Joe is not there yet. Well, should Joe be hiding in the background, which he does sometimes. Let's dedicate this one to Joe because Joe loves big band music, and so do I. I love absolutely everything about big band music. And of course, an organ like this can be a big band. Let's get my saxophones. Saxophones and trumpets. Trumpets and trombones. See, you have a sort of big band style wherever you want. And I think this would be a great one. This is one that you would hear by the Count Basie Big Band from time to time, or any other big band for that matter. It's from 1940, and it's that magnificent diagonal street throughout, well, pretty much any North American city, but the most famous one, of course, cutting right through the middle of Manhattan. Slicing Manhattan in two, it is, of course, Broadway. Da-da, da-da, dee-dee-dee-dee-dim, dee-dim. And it's a wonderful rhythm. It's a sort of a riff. A riff is a short, repeated rhythmic feature. There you are. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Broadway riff. 1, 2, and 1, 2. Whew. Hard work that for the old left leg. Walkie bass, a walking bass pattern. Good heavens. Ladies and gentlemen, to correspond to the world of ticket sales, and this is, Vanessa loves these kinds of things, to correspond with the words of ticket sales, here is a musical request to all of the Gartshore gang. Brother, can you spare a dime? Brother, can you spare a dime? Brother, can you spare a dime? Sorry, I couldn't resist. It was there. It was the next one after Broadway. And I've got Vanessa in the background making gestures at me, which is fun. Now, in the world of riffs, we have to sort of move into the world of slightly more modern jazz. Where on earth did I put this? Damn it. Slightly more modern jazz, and this brings me, here it is. This brings me to Ian Lavery. Ian Lavery, who loves the music of, I'm guessing, the music of Dave Brubeck. That's his name. Just forgot his name there for a minute. Gosh, Dave Brubeck. And I almost got to see Dave Brubeck live once. I was on holiday many years ago, many years ago. On the sort of the Italian, it sounds very grand, on the sort of Mediterranean coast in Italy, Liguria. Wonderful part of the country, and it's very close to the French border. And just behind the French border, you have, of course, Monte Carlo, which is a very, if you've never been, it's a very interesting place. It's very bizarre. It's filthy, basically, but it's where the wannabes get together and show off how much they kind of have. But it's a very strange place, but it has an amazing cultural scene. And I remember I was, just for fun, I drove through Monte Carlo for the day. I wanted to sort of just drive around and see all the fancy cars. I like that kind of thing. And I noticed signs for Dave Brubeck and band, or the Dave Brubeck trio or quartet. Must have been quartet, I think, wasn't it? Can't remember. Anyway, Dave Brubeck live in concert. And I thought, oh my God, how cool would that be to see Dave Brubeck in concert in Monte Carlo? That would be what a wonderful anecdote to be able to tell people. And I remember going to the box office. Where was it? I can't remember what the title of the venue was, or the name of the venue. I can't remember. But I remember pulling up and thinking, right, I'm going to find out. I'm going to go and buy tickets, because it was the night after. So I thought I could come back, not a problem. Tickets started at 180 euros. Started at 180 euros. And they were all sold out. There were only expensive tickets left. I think the cheapest ticket was 325 euros. So sadly, Dave Brubeck wasn't worth 325 euros as far as I was concerned, but it would have been fun. Now, I then followed Dave Brubeck around on his European tour, because on my way back from there, I found he was playing in Stuttgart in southern Germany. And unfortunately, that too was sold out. Otherwise, I would have stopped off in Stuttgart and tried to get hold of Dave Brubeck. So I never got to see Dave Brubeck live. And sadly, of course, he's no longer with us now. But he composed some amazing, or recorded and composed some amazing jazz numbers. Everyone, of course, knows. 5. Everybody knows take 5. And he loved his sort of different rhythms. So that's 5 beats in a bar. 5 beats in a bar. Normal music would be 2, 3, or 4 beats in a bar. So 2 beats. Yeah, that's 2 beats in a bar. 3 beats in a bar would be a waltz. And 4 beats in a bar, sort of. It's basically 2. It's a slightly different feel. That would be 4 beats in a bar. But Dave Brubeck decided, sod that, I'll do 5 beats in a bar. Which is kind of weird. It's sort of 3 plus 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. And it's sort of that. It's like a donkey with a funny leg. Yeah, it doesn't quite sort of feel right. There's a hiccup in it. Yeah, and then he sort of moved on. He then sort of thought, I know. Let's do 7 beats in a bar. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we'll split that into 4 plus 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Which makes it very difficult to play because you have to concentrate. So this is a piece of music called the Unsquare Dance. Copyright coming at large. The Unsquare Dance. I'm not sure if I can play this. I'm really not sure. But what I need for this, I need something called a side stick, which is basically, let me play that on its own. It's just basically, yeah, it's a sort of it's a snare drum, and you hit the rim of the snare drum. A side stick. So if I get my piano back, there's my piano. If I'm clever, this could be difficult. This might work, it might not. No promises. That's that one. Okay, I've got the music here. I've never played it before in my life, so this could be interesting. Anything could happen. Let's be spontaneous, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go, the Unsquare Dance, played by the very unsquare musician here. So let's find out what we get. That's just, no, that's mind-boggling. That's mind-boggling indeed. Good heavens, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that is pretty much the end of this evening's entertainment, and we're getting close to the end of the festival. Tomorrow night is closing night, and don't forget, tomorrow night is Vanessa and Fraser's anniversary date, which we will be sharing with you tomorrow night. So join us. There will be some fun and games, and who knows, there might be some smarties. There might even be some loving comments from Vanessa to me. She just looked at me and went, Sometimes I feel like being Don Rickles, but that would be nasty, wouldn't it? But yeah, the way she sort of turns around and looks and goes, Yeah, fun stuff. We haven't played anything by Duke Ellington tonight, so the final number for this evening, ladies and gentlemen, is, it's our anniversary tomorrow, tomorrow is only a day away. We went to see that in London. Remember that? She's yawning away in the background. A little bit of Duke Ellington to finish off this evening's. It's Take the A Train. Again, back to New York. Wonderful New York thing. And Take the A Train. Or, if you're in Rome, it's called Take the Train. Take the Train. That's it, folks. That was the end of our At the Jazz Band Ball night for our Tuesday night in the Gartshore Organ Festival. Tune in tomorrow for the final concert. Until then, it's bye-bye time, which means it's bye-bye blues.